A single dad paid for a woman whose card was declined. She owned the entire grocery chain. The loud beep of a declined payment echoed through the crowded grocery store, freezing everyone in place. A young woman stood silently at the checkout, her hands trembling as embarrassed tears filled her eyes. Behind her, impatient shoppers sighed and whispered. Then, without hesitation, a tired single father stepped forward, reached into his nearly empty wallet, and paid for her groceries. He believed he was simply helping a stranger on the worst day of her life. He had no idea that one small act of kindness was about to change his own future forever. Before we continue, if you believe kindness always finds its way back, please take a moment to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share it with someone who still believes in second chances, and subscribe to Bright Kindness for more emotional stories that restore faith in humanity. Ethan Carter knew what it meant to struggle. Ever since losing his wife to illness 3 years earlier, every sunrise had become another battle. He worked long shifts as a warehouse employee before driving for food delivery apps late into the night. Every dollar mattered because everything he earned went toward raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Their apartment was small, their refrigerator was often half empty, and many nights Ethan quietly skipped dinner so Lily would never have to. That rainy Thursday afternoon, Ethan stopped by a neighborhood grocery store after work with only enough money to buy bread, milk, eggs, and a few vegetables. He carefully added each item to his basket, mentally calculating every cent before reaching the checkout line. Just ahead of him stood a woman dressed in a simple beige coat. She looked exhausted, carrying only a few groceries. Nothing about her appearance suggested wealth or importance. When the cashier scanned the final item, the payment terminal flashed a bright red message. Transaction declined. The woman tried again. Declined. She searched through another card. Declined once more. The customers waiting behind her began rolling their eyes. Someone muttered that she should stop wasting everyone's time. Another complained loudly about people shopping without money. The woman lowered her head, unable to hide her humiliation. Ethan looked at the total on the screen. It was just under $80. He knew paying for it meant he would have to return several items from his own basket, but he also knew what public embarrassment felt like. Without asking for recognition, he simply stepped forward and tapped his own worn debit card against the machine. The payment was approved. The woman looked up with tears in her eyes, overwhelmed by a kindness she hadn't expected. Ethan smiled gently, telling her everyone deserves help sometimes before picking up his smaller grocery bag and walking away. That evening, Ethan worried about how he would stretch the remaining money until payday. Still, as he watched Lily happily eating toast and soup, he knew he had made the right choice. The next morning, something unbelievable happened. A sleek black luxury SUV stopped outside the warehouse where Ethan worked. Several professionally dressed executives stepped out, asking specifically for him. His co-workers stared in disbelief as Ethan nervously walked outside, convinced something terrible had happened. Instead, standing beside the vehicle was the same woman from the grocery store. She introduced herself properly for the first time. Her name was Victoria Lawson, and she was the founder and owner of the very grocery chain where Ethan had helped her. The declined cards had not been caused by a lack of money. Earlier that morning, the company's financial systems had been temporarily frozen during a major cybersecurity investigation. She had chosen to shop without security or special treatment because she wanted to experience her stores as ordinary customers did. What she witnessed broke her heart. Employees showed little compassion. Customers mocked someone they believed was poor. Only one person chose kindness over convenience. That person was Ethan. Victoria admitted she had quietly reviewed the security footage after leaving the store. She discovered Ethan's difficult life, his spotless work record, and the sacrifices he made every single day to raise Lily alone. She wasn't interested in rewarding charity with money alone. She wanted someone with genuine compassion to help transform the culture of her company. Victoria offered Ethan a position overseeing customer care and community outreach across every store in the chain. The salary was more than triple his warehouse income. It included health insurance, paid education, and flexible hours so he could spend evenings with Lily. At first, Ethan thought it was impossible. People like him didn't receive opportunities like this. But Victoria smiled and reminded him that businesses could teach skills, yet they could never teach a truly kind heart. Months later, customers noticed something different throughout the grocery chain. Employees were trained to treat every shopper with dignity. Emergency assistance programs quietly helped struggling families. Food donations expanded across local communities. Every new employee learned the story of the anonymous father who sacrificed his own groceries to protect a stranger's dignity. Ethan never became famous. He never asked for attention. But every evening, he came home before sunset, helping Lily with homework instead of rushing off to another exhausting shift. For him, that was the greatest reward of all. Before we reach the ending, tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you had been standing behind that woman in the checkout line? Years later, Victoria often said that her company's greatest investment had never been a new store or modern technology. It had been believing in one ordinary father whose extraordinary kindness reminded thousands of people that compassion costs little but can change countless lives. And Ethan always taught Lily the same lesson: never measure wealth by the money in someone's bank account. Measure it by the kindness they give when nobody is watching. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a heartfelt comment, share it with your family and friends, and subscribe to Bright Kindness. Your support helps us continue sharing true-to-life stories that remind the world that one act of kindness can change a life forever.